What's going on, people? TroopzTV. Back again. Back our blood clot again, you understand? You see right now, yeah, I'm just going into my contacts, blood, and I'm just pulling out all the big hitters, blood, you understand? We had Kevin Campbell on the last episode, you get me? This episode, you get me, blood? It's only right, fam, you understand? Don, blood clot, Robbie is in the building, blood, you get me? But before we get into Don, Robbie, you understand? Pause, you understand? We have to put the pause in there, you get me? Because we ain't going in no man, you understand? We have to big up Heineken every time, blood, you understand? Back again with Troopz. Jetski let me know before we went live that it is episode 84, because you know, say man always gets the episodes wrong and everything there. But episode 84 presented by Heineken, blood. You understand? Now, obviously in the Euros, Robbie was loving life as well, blood. You get me? The Euros was fun. Mikhail Bloodclot, Saka running the thing. You get me? Everyone was enjoying it. We had a Heineken with us when I was doing the watch-alongs with Robbie. Robbie even had the Heineken on set, blood. Because man know, you understand? Everywhere man went, Heineken on deck, blood. You get me? You lot already know. You need that. You need that for company, you understand? Because Arsenal is not the right company, blood. You understand? You don't want them man there nowhere near you, blood. I'm trying to get a restraining order on them man there, if I'm being totally honest, blood. You get me? But you lot already know, blood. You get me? You can get your Heineken from your local retailer or get it delivered to you at the crib. But please make sure you're 21 and over. And obviously, please drink responsibly, blood. You get me? Like I said, I've been going into my phone book, blood. You get me? And pulling out the big hitters, blood. Don Robbie, my brother. What are you telling me, bro?
No, I'm good, man. Good. Just chilling out today. Actually, taking my son to football soon. So, but yeah, but having a nice sort of working from home day. So it's been all right.
Yeah, it's been fun, innit? No Arsenal, chilled, a chilled weekend. You understand?
Well, I don't know about no Arsenal, because at the weekend, Edu was doing an interview over here in the UK on he was doing an interview on Sky, and it was a very controversial interview that caused consternation. But yeah, it's been, you know what? In a way, I wish we would have had a game at the weekend, because it's almost been like 2 weeks of just hearing just pure BS, man, pure criticism. And I think it would have been just nice to have just had a game, just to you know, talk about the game instead of just talk about this, we should do that, blah, 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 you know what I mean? So this is the big weekend coming up, the big 6-pointer.
You get me?
So, yeah.
I hear you, bro. You understand? For me, I'm kind of happy there was no games, you understand? Because I got to enjoy my weekend, blood. Stress-free, you get me? Man ain't getting bantered. None of that, blood. You understand? I'm just enjoying the weather and the good vibes, blood. You get me? Goonie, the way you're telling me, blood, you're wild lad.
Hey, listen, you already know life is already good on the blue side. I got no complaints. Come this weekend, hopefully business as usual. 3 points and a clean sheet, bro. I'm all smiles, man. Come on.
Zah, I'm not even going to ask how you're doing, blood. You get me? Because I already know, fam. You understand?
I'm doing good, man. I mean, it's good not to have Arsenal stress. So I was down by the shore, closing out the summer this weekend. So it's been fun. I'm doing all right.
Robbie touched on it. You get me? Edu come out with his statement. Well, not his statement. It was a video. You get me?
Yeah, interview.
Done on Sky Sports. We all saw the comments. Robbie, you already know my thing, blood. You get me? You already know me, bro. You understand? Like, you understand? That's just fucking wound me up even more, blood. You get me? It's just wound me up even more. I mean, the brunt of it was like, he's saying, we need a foundation. The players haven't played. And when we have no target for the season, blood. So there's no pressure on Arteta, blood. You understand? It's just vibes. No, you get me? No target and just vibes, blood. You get me? That's what a man is saying, blood. Arsenal Football Club has no league position target, blood. You understand? So basically what this brother is telling me, yeah, is that as long as we don't get relegated, we had a good season, blood. You understand? That's what man are really trying to tell me now, Robbie, blood. You understand? Like, I spoke to you, like, when I was on live on deadline day, man was saying you gave the window 8 out of 10, rare tear. But then
not eight,
yeah,
6.
Yeah, but then
6 out of 10.
Me and you spoke, and you gave it a 6 out of 10. For me, with them comments, it just brings the window, for me, it just brings it lower, blood. You understand? Because how can the technical director of the club have no target? The manager has no target. What's the ambition of this club? Where are we going?
I found it comments shocking. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You know, the guy never asked him if you're going to win the league. He asked you, you know, after speaking to him quite extensively about the transfer business, he's asking him, where do you expect to finish? Or, you know, that's a normal question you'd ask any sort of person in that position. And he's sort of 4th, 6th, 8th, 10th. That's not what we're about. We want to see the players play and all that. I'm like, yeah, this is Arsenal Football Club. And the standards should be high. I remember a few seasons ago, people taking the mick out of us because we're talking about top 4 and not winning the league. And they were right, because a club like Arsenal should be, the target at the start of the season should be about winning the league. And the thing is that annoyed me about those comments is that it's only 3 games gone. I know we've started off really badly, but there's only 3 games gone. We've lost those 3 games. All right, you could say, you can't even look on it and say you've got a deficit of 9 points. Because right now, Chelsea haven't got 9 points, for instance. Chelsea have got, 7 points? So, you know, there's other teams that have got 5 points. You know, I mean, you can see, you know. So if you're ambitious, you should be looking on it and saying to yourself, well, you know what? I mean, how I would have answered that question to that guy, I would have said, you know what? This season, minimum Europe. Minimum European football. But he's not even saying that. He's saying he's saying about 8th and 10th. Those words shouldn't be coming out of his mouth about 8th or 10th. Should be minimum. It should be like, how we should have answered that question is, we've got off to a very poor start, right? There's been some circumstances around that. We have players with COVID. We've had players out. But now that we've got everything in place, now that hopefully a few players are coming back, our aims this season is still the same as it was right at the start of the season. We need to get back into European football. If he would have said that, I don't think anyone would have had a problem with that. But to be talking like there's no aim, I'm like, no, this is Arsenal. We're not Norwich. Yeah, I'd expect that guy Farquhar, the Norwich guy, to be saying that. You know, no, you know, we just want to stay in the division, or there's no real, you know, let's just take it the next game. And I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And also, you know, I thought the guy who's, you know, Jeff Shreve, he asked him some good questions when he's saying to him about the transfers. It's kind of what I've been thinking myself. I think the signings that they've made, we need those type of signings. We need that type of profile of player. But where's the experience, guys? Where's those? I was chatting this morning and I was saying, we did a show and I was saying, somebody like a Marcel Sabitzer who's available, who's 27, very experienced player. He could have come into that midfield for about £15 million, but we've gone all young players. And then he's saying that they're going to look up to the older players in the team that have been underperforming for about the past 3 seasons. Who are they going to look up to? Saka? Utes looking up to Utes. Nah, man. I'm just so... Honestly, I'll tell you what, if they better win that game this weekend, because otherwise, I personally, when I heard that interview, I was like, Edu, you shouldn't have done an interview. You should have just left it and did nothing.
He put more fuel to the he added more fuel to the fire, blood.
Yeah, you looked on that interview and you said to yourself, right, that's kind of revealed to us the fact that you're not ambitious, man. And they're taking a massive gamble with the policy that they put in place, where basically it's to go for all these young players. You know, it's almost as if the signings have been made with only resale in mind. I get that impression as well. A lot of it, because a lot of the talk, if you listen, you read between the lines of a lot of what he's saying is basically, and I understand that, because in the past, look how many players have walked away for nothing. And we've made nothing on, right? And we've got nothing to sell. So I hear them that they have to have some resale value within players. However, you can't have all of them. You've got to bring a bit of experience into the teams. You've got to bring in a couple of killers into the team. And we haven't.
I heard you talking about like Lokonga, how I see you and Cecil, and I see you saying to Cecil how Lokonga could turn out to be our Basuma. But the key word is could.
Could.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like, what, like, you get me? Like, I totally understand going for Basuma. Not Basuma, sorry. Lokonga, he's 21, highly rated. Henry, companies made him captain at Anderlecht before we signed him. On the fringes of the Belgium team, you know how good that midfield is, but for him to even be spoken of, to be around it, he's got to be a top talent.
Yeah,
but when you look at... Exactly. But then when you look at 21, not 21, sorry, when you look at Basuma, he's 25, bro. You understand? He's still young, you get me, but he's just 4 years older. He's just closer to his prime. He's more of the finished article than a Lokonga. You understand? I got no problems with the Lokonga signing, but I'm saying, like, he's contradicted himself, bro, because the man that we were linked with as well, who would have actually came in and made a more of an instant impact, like a Basuma, if he came in, that's an instant impact in the midfield. He's not going to need to learn his role.
And he wanted to come.
He wanted to come. He was doing what fucking Xhaka was doing. You get me? You see the way Xhaka was twerking for Roma? Basuma was twerking for us, blood. You understand? But you know, it's typical Arsenal. There's a boom ting twerking. Nah, fuck that, blood. We're going to take the dead ting and we're going to roll with that one, blood. You understand? We're going to put the dead ting in the passenger and then we're going to roll out with the dead ting, blood. You understand? We ain't going gaucho. We're going fucking McDonald's, blood. You understand? And you get me, bro? Like, for me, I just saw a whole heap of contradictions in the interview, bro. Even his transfer policy, because you have to remember, yeah, this little fucker, he's trying to say now, the transfer policy is to go young. Last year, the transfer policy was to go old. Yeah? So, re-signing Louise, the signing of Willian. You understand? That's older play. Now, within a season, you've said, no, we're gonna change the process, and we're going with this process now. You understand? So the whole process they were telling us to trust, there's a new process now. Because you have to remember that Arteta said at Man City, there's no process. You understand?
Yeah, it's very confusing. And you make a good point. You know what I mean? Last year, David Luiz, you know, like you said, who, by the way, I would have kept for another season.
I agree with you on that one. Because he was our best. Me and you spoke off camera as well. He was our best centre-back last year, blood.
Best centre-back last season, right? For most of the, you know, he had a couple of rash moments at the start of the season, but for the rest of the season, he was pretty solid. He's very combative, right? And he's the best passer of ball in that defence by a country mile. Right? I would have kept him, right? But we didn't. We've got rid of him.
Yep.
All right. We're yet to see. I don't think you can judge. I think it's very. A lot of people judging Ben White off of one game. I think it's extremely harsh, man. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
One game, you know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Let's see how Ben White is. He comes really highly rated.
It wasn't a good game, though.
No, but, you know, the signings, some of the signings that they made last season, like you said, Willian, David Luiz, Pablo Mari. Well, Pablo Mari's I wouldn't class him as old, but Cedric.
Yeah, Cedric.
That's another one. You know, when we had two right backs already, we went and got Cedric in as well. And then now you've reversed that. And then when you add on to that the fact that some of the players, like Guendouzi, like Saliba, that have been sent out on loan, not given a chance. And all of a sudden you see them out on loan doing very well. You know, you start to question a lot of things. And I look on it and I say, Mikel Arteta and Edu, it's a very bold move what they've done now. They've reversed, yeah, you can say they've sort of done a reversal of what they were going for. They've gone with a very, very bold move, but it better work. It better work, because if it don't, you know what I mean? These players coming in could turn out to be brilliant and we all eat our words. But it's a very bold move to make because none of them have really got that. Even Ben White is a young centre-back still making his way who could become a top quality player, but he's still making his way. And I still look at I still look in there and I think, you get, even when Ben White's in and you got Gabriel, that's what we all want to see. But they're both very young centre-backs. You know what I mean? It's a very, Takeri Timiyaso is a very young player. He's 22. You know, so these are very, Tavares, young. Yeah, like you said, Sambi Lokonga, as I said, could turn out to be a Basuma, but personally, I would have got him and Basuma. Why did we hang on to Granit Xhaka as well? That's another one for me. I'm like, Granit Xhaka wanted to leave. He just had a good Euros. And I felt it was the time for him to leave. They had, no, I mean, it's like, you haven't even got to go and attempt to make a very difficult decision. The guy wants to go. All right, fair enough, you want to go. Let's go and get Basuma and Sambi Lokonga. I would have got both of them. Fix the spine of the team. And the big problem at Arsenal at the moment is the defence. That is an issue right now that I'm looking at over those 3 games. I was at the game, the Man City game. We started the game off well. First 7 or 8 minutes, we were on the front foot. We were taking it to Man City. I was like, I'm encouraged by this. I'm encouraged by the reaction that I'm seeing. Soon as the ball came down into our defence, literally the first attack, goal. What does that do for the attacking players? They're just looking back and they're thinking to themselves, what's this? You know, so I think the issue has been defence. And yes, there's been COVID issues. Yes, there's been players out injured. I think Thomas Partey is a massive miss. But it's a big gamble. Big gamble what they've done in the transfer market. We've spent £150 million and nobody's excited. You know, and normally if you spend £150 million, I mean, I was with Flex yesterday, man. The guy's flipping, bouncing out the room because he can't wait till the weekend comes to see Ronaldo, Varane, you know, all these type of guys. We got in the Norwich game. I'm not really... There's no excitement, you know, and it's no disrespect to any of the players we signed, but none of them have got me buzzing, saying, yeah, man, I can't wait to see who. You know what I mean? So, oh, man. So, but these are gambles, man. These are big gambles that he's made. They better work. You say they're going to give him a lot of time, Troopz. Personally, I don't think so. I think if he was to lose the next couple of games, he'd be gone.
You should be gone already, blood.
Whether you want to give somebody a lot of time or not, you know what football is like, man. You lose a certain amount of games, you know. And do you know what I'd like to ask? Forgot his name here because it says man knows football with Goonie. What I want to ask, and I want to ask you this, right? Because when we're on the subject of managers, right? So obviously with Chelsea they brought in Thomas Tuchel, and I was saying to some of my guys the other day, I was making this point, right? And I want to ask you this as a Chelsea fan. Before Tuchel came in, didn't all the Chelsea fans, a lot of Chelsea fans weren't having Rudiger, were they?
No, they weren't having it.
Time up for Rudiger. There was a lot of Chelsea fans who were saying, Christensen, I'm not sure.
Yep.
Yeah? Facts. Am I being fair with that?
Yeah,
There was a lot of Chelsea fans who definitely weren't having Alonso.
Facts.
Saying they're driving to the airport right now. There was a lot of Chelsea fans who weren't having Jorginho.
Big facts.
Is that not facts? Yeah. That's 4 players I picked out that the fans, you as a Chelsea fan, know that a year ago, before Tuchel come in, you lot were like, you know what, if somebody came in and took Jorginho right now or took Rudiger or Christensen, no problem, have them. Now look how they're playing. And that's why I think a manager's job is critical, because I look at certain players in Arsenal's team and I'm like, they're not as bad as what people are saying. People are saying, they're rubbish. They're not. There's a lot of very good players in that team. You've got Kieran Tierney and guys like Aubameyang and Lacazette. You know what I mean? These are good, top quality players that at the moment, I don't feel the manager is getting the best out of. This is his job to get the best out of those players. And as I said, Thomas Tuchel didn't come in and just buy a load of players. Thomas Tuchel came in and made the players that were there better. And I know all round Chelsea have got a better squad, but he made them better. And that's what Mikel Arteta has to start doing. I think it's a cheap thing when fans just say, they're all rubbish. They're not. They're not all rubbish. So they wouldn't be playing even for a team like Arsenal. There may be a couple of players there that we think is below the standard, but not all of them. And as I said, I remember the Chelsea fans not having some of these players, and now look at them. So,
we're in a very, very, very tough spot, as Robbie was alluding to. I think that the transfer policy shows that the board is gonna back Arteta, so he's gonna stay in, and he's already lost the trust of like the players that are there already. So we're in a very, very tough spot, and it honestly starts from the top, the lack of accountability at the club and all. And I mean, the Edu interview, as we spoke about a little bit earlier, him not having any aims and all. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing, and I don't know what the fuck to do with this club. Honestly, it's like I don't want this international break to end. Imagine, I don't want Arsenal to come back. It really is sad.
But as I said, Zar, the manager's job now is to get the best out of these players, and if he can't do it, this is why I say then you then have to think about a change. Obviously, they are backing him. The £150 million, they're backing him. They want him to succeed. But I do feel that if it doesn't go right in the next couple of games, I reckon they would make a change because, we saw that under Emery. They tried their hardest to keep hold of him. They were hanging in until I think it was that game against Frankfurt is where they just said, nah, man. Nah, this is it.
Blood.
And if you think about it, I mean, if Arsenal, I personally think the next 3 games, we have to get a minimum of 7 points. Minimum.
So
He can, and do you know the other thing? And this is why I didn't like what Edu said at the weekend, because this is a situation that still can be turned around. It's 3 games. It's not 15 games. It's 3 games. It can be turned around. Man City got off to a bad, not as bad as what we've done, but Man City got off to a poor start last season, right? So did Manchester United. They come first and second in the division, right? So, listen, we're not going to get nowhere near that, but it can be turned around. Go on a run. Get the team together. Go on a run so that people forget the first 3 games of the season. The season doesn't finish in August. The season finishes in May, and that's why I didn't like what Edu's saying. He's scared to say, yeah, I think we'll definitely make the European places. He's scared to say that. The fear of looking bad. No, you're Arsenal, man. You've got to say it with your chest. No, man, we'll be good. The reason why we've got off to a poor start is because we've had COVID problems and we've been missing some of our biggest players. But we have full confidence that when those players return back, you're going to see us start moving up the table, and our aim is still to finish in those European places. That's what I wanted to hear. Not the rubbish that I heard. And you could hear fans would, and deserve, and they're right to be in uproar. Because this is Arsenal Football Club. St. Norwich.
Could you ever imagine that happening at Chelsea? Like no one being held accountable for, like the manager not being held accountable for the league finish, the board not being held accountable for the transfer policy, the owner not being accountable for...
It's impossible. It's impossible. The way you just know Abramovich's character, he doesn't say much in the media or whatever, but as soon as he starts to smell shit hitting the fan, it's over. It's curtains for you. He'll just turn up to the training ground in his helicopter and he'll just ask, yeah, what's going on here? Do you know what I mean? That's what he'll do. He'll just turn up, he'll ask what's going on here. And then the manager will obviously explain himself. If things don't turn around within that given amount of time, that's it. You're gone. You saw what he done to Ancelotti. You see how he fired him. You see, if Roman wants something, he wants something. And the guy has a level. He's got a standard that he never, ever drops below. And it's almost like it's personal for him because obviously he supports Chelsea Football Club. We see the support that he gives the club. But with him, it's like an ego thing. It's like if my club is not winning trophies or not spoken about or not doing the right things, you can tell that he is doing absolutely anything to get rid and find the problem and solve it immediately.
Whereas us, we just drop lower and lower and lower. And I don't know how Arteta has still got a job. And the thing is this, if we press the button, who are we getting in? Because Conte, he ain't going to come now. You understand? Like, Mr. Here We Go come out and said that you Arsenal fans, you need to get the Arsenal thing out your head. You understand? I see rumours today. I see rumours today that apparently we've spoken to him and there's a deal that if Arteta can't get us performing by October, he's going to come in. I don't think that's going to happen, bro. Who do we get? Because for me, the button needs to be pressed, yeah? Whether we get Conte or not, for me, the button has to be pressed. This man cannot take us forward. For me. Yeah? So
the button's not going to get pressed yet, right? The button.
Who do we get when the button gets pressed? Because Conte is you understand, he doesn't like to take jobs mid-season.
It has to be Conte. If the button gets pressed, what Arsenal got to do, they have to bring in an elite manager next, right? The problem with Mikel Arteta is that he's learning on the job, and when you're at a club like Arsenal, there is no learning on the job. You can get a couple of games, but you can't be after 3 games at the bottom of the table. You know what I mean? So you need an elite manager. We've done this before. I've said this on so many different shows, what I've done on AFTV. We've let this problem happen before. Guardiola wanted to come to Arsenal, right? Inquired to Arsenal. And we, at that time, decided that we're going to keep hold of Arsene Wenger, even though Arsene Wenger, we could see, was kind of coming towards the end of his tenure, right? That was one we missed out on. Klopp was out there. Remember Klopp? It was about a year he was off with him. And Guardiola. Sitting there waiting around, we didn't do nothing. Liverpool got Klopp. The rest is history. Yeah, that's 2. Allegri, when Emery was there doing his foolishness, yeah, Allegri was sat there doing nothing. Free as a bird. No moves made by Arsenal, nothing. No inquiries, nothing. That's free.
Ancelotti.
Right? Now, Conte's there, sat doing nothing. He's just got a job on Sky Italia. What, we're going to make 4 elite managers be sat out there waiting on a job, and Arsenal don't approach them. Arsenal's a big job. I'm still convinced that Arsenal is a massive job. It's a massive worldwide club. We all know that. We've all been around the world with it, Troopz. We know how big this thing is, right? It's still a big job, but a manager like a Conte, when he comes to an interview, he wants to hear about ambition. He didn't remember he was interviewed by Tottenham. And the reason he didn't take it was because, you know, he didn't see enough ambition there. So it's down to the owners of the club. How ambitious are they? You know, if it starts going wrong, because I do believe they will give Arteta more time. And that's why I say for him now, for Mikel Arteta, time to start turning it around. You've been given a lot of chances, right? As somebody said on one of our shows the other day, as a young person, a young manager in the game, you've been given a lot of chances that you don't always afford to young players like Guendouzi and Saliba and people like that.
Martinelli.
So, right? And Martinelli, people like that. So you, as a young manager, have been given a lot of chances. Now you need to, you know, really and truly, I feel the pressure is all on him now. That he has to repay the faith that has been placed in him by the Cronkies. Because much as we don't like the Cronkies, you can't say they ain't backed him.
That's what I'm trying to say to people.
150 million quid, man.
That's what I say to people.
The highest spending team in the world this transfer window, the world.
When people try to say about, Cronky out protest, this and that, I'm like, listen. Allow this Cronky out. Like, brother, Cronky's giving him 205 million, yeah, in 18 months, yeah? He signed 14 players and he's given 8 new contracts, blood, yeah? Cronky is backing, yeah? He's the only man.
Although you could argue that they got no sense either because, you know,
they're backing the wrong man.
They also bought him in.
Because what it is, yeah?
And I always, yeah, you know what I mean? Troopz, right? It all boils down to the person that's in charge.
Yeah.
And I mean, ultimately in charge.
Yeah.
You heard my man talking about Abramovich. He makes good decisions.
Yeah.
These guys, they're probably backing him now because they're thinking, boy, we're going to look stupid because we were the ones who went and got a manager that's never managed in the Premier League before.
A virgin.
Right? Well, you could call it that, yeah.
He's a virgin, blood. Let's be real now. He's a virgin. He ain't touched nothing, blood. He ain't even had this brother ain't even touched third base, blood, yeah? He's not even on second. He's on first base, yeah? Shout out my Americans, innit? Shout out my Yanks on that one, innit? This nigga, he's doing up American Pie, blood. Yeah? Literally. He's doing up American Pie. Shout out Jim. Yeah? If you watch American Pie, you know what he did to the pie, blood. Yeah? That is Arteta, blood, yeah? He's like, what's his name? McLovin. He's like McLovin, blood, from Superbad. Do you understand? Like, bro, do you know what they're doing as well, yeah? It's like they're back in the 20-1. Like, you can go and get the favourite. You understand? You can go and get the Conte. They're back in the 50-1, the 20-1. You understand?
And it's a big risk, and it's a big risk. And at the moment, he's failing. I bet when they first brought him in, they probably thought, "Wow, it's paid off because we won the FA Cup," and that was great. And I think, you know, what I mean, I gave him lots and lots of plaudits for that, because
so did I.
It wasn't just the fact that we won the FA Cup. Remember the teams we beat to win it. It weren't like we beat Norwich. Yeah, we didn't beat Norwich in the semi-final and then play Sheffield United in the final. Do you know what I mean? Or something like that. We beat top teams. We overcame adversity to do that. One of the things that's worrying me about at the moment is that I'm not seeing performances. If you're the owners of Wolves, you ain't got no points either. Wolves ain't won a game yet.
But you're looking something from them.
But you're looking at that game against Man United and you're like,
your boy Traore. You see me tell you about Traore? You see what I told you about this brother? When you used to, I love Traore at Arsenal. You be cussing this clown now. Arsenal. You be cussing this clown in our chances this brother.
I still have him at Arsenal, though.
Because of, he has person.
I'd still have him at Arsenal.
Yeah, but he's got no impact up, blood.
Right, but anyway.
It's like Walcott.
If you're looking at Wolves as the owners, you're like, you know what? A manager hasn't given us no points yet, but you know what? Against Tottenham, we had 20 shots. Yeah. They got a little penalty. Yeah. You know what? Against Man United, we should have won that game. We had enough chances to win it. We created loads. And you know what? United were lucky, right? Because that was a foul in the build-up. Shouldn't have been given anyway. So there's hope there. There's hope. When I'm looking at Arsenal, I'm like, Brentford, bullied. Poor performance. All right. Chelsea, poor performance against Chelsea. Terrible defending for both goals. And then I'm looking at City. I'm like, yeah, we waved the white flag. Right? So I'm looking at 3 performances and I'm like, yo, nah, man, terrible. And that's what I'm saying. You know, that's what's making me feel so deflated, because if I'd have seen good performances, it's a hard start, you know. From I even saw that start, when the fixture list first come out, I was like, yo, Brentford, the first game, brand new team in their brand new stadium. You know that anybody in football can tell you, you don't want to catch newly promoted teams at the start of the season. No. Get them after about 10 games, they're different. But when you catch them game 1, 2, they're up for it, man. Them man, they're 20 foot tall. Plus on top of that, we had all the COVID and right. So I looked at that. Chelsea second game, champions of Europe. Third game, champions of England. Really and truly, you looked at that game. If you're being a betting man, you'd say, right, we probably could get 3 points from the first game, or maybe even a point. Second game, probably a point. Third game, we always lose to City. So you knew you was in for a tough time. But what's really got me on all 3 games has been the performance. There has been no performance, culminating in that one against Manchester City, where the white flag was waved. In my opinion, I was there. I was at the game. It looked like the white flag. When I saw Saka go and do that stupid, get himself sent off, I'm like, yeah, the white flag has been waved. And
you wonder why?
I wanted them to blow the whistle then.
And you wonder why? There. And you wonder why I ever come to a game with you. You wonder why I don't holler you and say, yo, bust me a ticket, pause. And you know, say, yeah, man, I know, say, come here. You know, yo. Norwich, Norwich. Yo, I mean, I know you're a dog, like. You're that dog.
Got a ticket fee for Norwich, man. Come on, man. You got to come to that, man. Surely you've got to win that, Troopz, man. If we don't, serious. Listen. And you know me. You know I'm not a sack manager guy. I don't
it's true.
like, you know what I mean? And I've met Arteta and he was a nice guy and I don't like to talk about man's jobs. But if he loses against Norwich, it's untenable, as they say.
You got a serious problem. If you lose to Norwich, you have a very serious problem.
No. If you lose to Norwich, at any top club in Europe, you've lost your first 4 games in the league.
That's it.
Goodbye.
No goals.
It don't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are.
Imagine Norwich beat us.
It's goodbye. It's simple. And to me, he has to win that game. Win. No draw either. Win. And I don't even necessarily think that's one. I want to see a performance, but that's not even. You need the 3 points. Has to win that game for me. I can't see what other top club in Europe. But then I guess when we hear the comments, like you said, Troopz, at the weekend, we're not rolling like a top club. We're rolling like, I don't know, maybe it's the New York Red Bulls or something. No disrespect to them. I don't know what's going on, bro. You know what I mean? This is Arsenal. They don't even call Arsenal Arsenal Football Club, yeah?
No,
I remember
Nah.
he's got to win that game. It's a winnable. You couldn't hope for a better game after you've had the first 3 games and they're tough. You couldn't hope for a better game at home. No excuses. No excuses. He has to win this game. Or, unfortunately, you have to say goodbye and you have to move on and try and get somebody else in, because then, like you said there, it's serious problems. I mean, serious. End of. So, this game this weekend is massive. Norwich.
It's so sad to hear you say that, Donald.
It's facts, though. And you know it. The thing is, all I've done is say it, what everybody's thinking. You know it. Troopz know it. I know it. Every other Arsenal fan knows that if he loses this game, even I've chatted to people that are staunch supporters of Mikel Arteta, and even they're like, nah, he can't, nah. Not Norwich. No disrespect to Norwich. They haven't won a game either. They're a newly promoted team.
They've
and
scored,
as I said, they have scored, yeah. We haven't scored a goal yet. That's the other thing.
We ain't scored.
We ain't scored a goal. And the worrying thing, as I said, in the first 3 games has been the performances. Hopefully, he'll have a few players back. Because the one excuse not excuse, but the one thing I do give Mikel Arteta that's made his job tough has been some vital players have been missing. In, Gabriel, but then with this brother, he might even start Kolasinac ahead of him at the weekend. That's what I've even. There's some mad decisions that's been going on too. So even that, I don't even know whether to have to. But Thomas Partey was brilliant in pre-season, and then he got injured against Chelsea, and that's been a huge miss. You know what I mean? And then just Ben White, his big signings, been out with COVID. On those sort of things, I felt a bit sorry for the manager. But still, I've not seen no performances. That's what's really worrying me. I'm not seeing performances. Chelsea went down to 10 men in their last game. Every Chelsea fan, my man here will be saying the same thing. He saw a performance after that. He saw a fight. Their man was saying to himself, yo, we ain't leaving out here with less than a point.
I saw title favourites, in my opinion. I know it's only that game, but it's just what it represented, obviously. 10 man down, Anfield, 45 minutes to go, full capacity stadium with a strong Liverpool team as well. And to come out with 1 point, that at whatever stage of this season is a galvanizing performance. And it does, as a fan, make you start to think, like, if we're doing this against who I considered our main rivals to be the favourites this year, because obviously City didn't get their striker, then everybody else, I'm looking at them as potential 3 points. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yep. And you're right to feel that way, because you saw a performance and you saw your players have a fight and determination, that their backs were against the wall at that time. As you said, you're at Anfield. We all know, me and Troopz have been there many times.
Bruh.
Right? We've been on the end of some beatdowns.
5-1.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that place is a place, and their manager in Klopp and that they build off a momentum. So, Chelsea down to 10. When you really, I was very impressed with that, because, 10 men just on half time and a goal back.
Yeah.
I think most other teams, that's it. It's curtains at Anfield.
Murder,
so it's a very, but again, as I said, you're seeing performances. Even if you'd have lost, and say you lost 2-1, but your fans would walk away from the game and they're like, you know what? Had we have not gone down to 10 men, I reckon we'd have been all right, man. But you see, we'd catch them next time.
Yeah, we know.
We're leaving out a Man City saying, boy, we never want to see that team again.
Oh, and don't want to come back here.
Yeah. Well, you're like,
shout Max B Blood. I never want to go back in there. Never want to go back. Never want to go back. I
never used to, you know what I mean? I shouldn't be feeling that way with Arsenal. Of course, you can, listen, City are a great side, but show something, man. Show something. And I didn't see that. And that's where I worry. I didn't see it at home against Chelsea. The fans were brilliant in all 3 games, really behind Arsenal. And I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything from the players. I didn't see anything from the manager. And some strange decisions in the lineup against Man City. When I saw Kolasinac there, I don't want to pick on him or nothing. I'm like, how's he playing in a back 3? When we know the guy ain't no good. Well, he's not performed in that position for... How's he playing in a back 3? He played Tierney in the 3. And if anything, played at noon. Where was Sambi Lokonga? He was the only player in that Chelsea game that I looked on and thought, you know what? You alone can come out of there and hold it. I did a player ratings, and that's what I said. Only Sambi Lokonga for me is a player that came out of that Chelsea game. We say, yeah. Where was he?
Smith Rowe as well. Smith Rowe kept going.
And Smith Rowe, yeah. Where was he? These strange decisions, man. As I said, they're bold. When they come off, man say you're a genius.
But they don't come off.
Man say, you know what? Wow, man. I would never have played Kolasinac. But boy, that's why, see, trust in Arteta, man, because he knows what he's doing. But when it don't come off, man say, yo, is this man mad? What? Man shouldn't even be at the club. I thought he was on his way to Turkey. Why is he starting against Manchester City? City. You need the best team you got out there for them games there. Why is he starting? I would have loved someone to have asked Mikel Arteta. He's thinking behind that. That you start a player that has been much maligned, has not had a good game for a very long time. And you're going to start him against Manchester City.
In January, blood.
It's weird. It was a weird decision. Really strange decision. I was like, wow. And it didn't pay off.
You know what was strange as well?
Sorry?
Did you see that? You know what was strange as well? Did you see the madness in fucking Brazil?
Oh, that was
crazy. Yeah.
Bro.
They're getting deported.
Bro. So what's going to go on with, because what? It's Martinez, Buendia, Romero, and
Lo Celso.
And Lo Celso. So they're trying to say that they can get like a 10-bag fine, £10,000 fine, or they could get 10 years in jail.
I'll take the fine.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially in Brazil. I'll take the fine all day.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You want to end up in a Brazilian jail.
Yeah, you seen the gangs in there, man. I'll definitely take the fine.
And
that was stupid, though, isn't it?
It's a political thing, blood. But what Messi was saying was, Messi said that why didn't they come 3-4 days earlier? Because they already broke quarantine. They were seen training. Why did they wait for the game to go on? Some people are saying that there's more to it. Like it's a political thing where Brazil could, because they've pulled off Argentina, and Argentina are the reason why the game has been postponed, that Brazil could get a bye and basically have the win for that game. You understand? I'm hearing there's bare. I'm hearing they're trying to dip them in bare things, blood. Man, are getting deported, blood.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And you know what the funny thing is that the English clubs didn't want to release those players in the first place.
Exactly.
For these type of reasons. And now, you know, and now I understand it. I'm sure if you're coming back from Brazil to this country,
yeah,
you're supposed to quarantine in a hotel for 10 days.
Exactly, because it's on the red list.
It's on the red list.
Brazil is on the red list. So them players would be literally quarantining for 10 days, and then they come out and join back their team.
I think it's embarrassing all around. I think it's embarrassing on Argentina because they should have known that the laws of the country they're going to. But then I look on Brazil, and I'm like, the way they executed that was embarrassing.
Because it was a mad thing. Like, I was literally there sitting there watching the game. Yeah. You have to see these men come out of nowhere. I said, what the fuck is going on? I was like, bro, what is going on? Man had masks on, blood. I thought it was some fucking youths from the favelas, blood, coming to do a hit on Messi. God forbid, bro. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to see someone get bun on TV, blood. And you know, over South America,
they're wild out there. Yeah, they're crazy out there.
That was my first thought, blood. I was like, yo, someone's getting touched, fam. And then I see then they started to talk about it. And then that guy, Tim Vickery, the South American Sky Sports reporter, he was saying that it's nothing to do with like the Premier League clubs. It's nothing against. It's actually the Brazilian government. It's to do with like Corona, bro. So like
because as I said, you know what I mean. Brazil on the red list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and I guess a lot of countries when we put them on the red list, they put us on the red list as well. So.
Because how can they lie on their documents?
It was a very embarrassing situation for such a big, high-profile football game. I think it's embarrassment all round.
I mean, how are they lying on their documents, bro? These are footballers, man. These men are lying on government documents, you know. This is gonna go. This could go left, you know. No lie.
I reckon they just get the fine.
It would get sorted out.
It's Brazil, brother. This ain't like it happened in Holland or it happened in fucking Switzerland. This is Brazil.
We'll sort it out. Don't
Trust
worry
me.
about that. Ain't nothing happening with that situation there. Behind the scenes, that's sorted already.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? But, you know, I think the Premier League clubs now are going to be sitting back and thinking, right, you see, the next set of fixtures, like, we ain't letting our players go. Because they didn't want to let, I know Martinez in particular, and Buendia, Villa did not want to let them go. They were like, nope, you ain't going. And then they sort of insisted. They said, we want to go and play for our country. But
then they were even told by the authorities to stay in the hotel. They were told to stay in the hotel and that they're being deported. And then the players have took it upon themselves to go and play that game, blood. You understand? So
this is what
it's kind of deep, blood.
What I can't understand is this, Again, I don't know. Sometimes there's some little simple solutions to these things, and I don't know, people deliberately make it more complicated than it is, right? Brazil's on the red list. Their players are playing in Europe. The European teams don't want them to go there because when they come back, they're going to have to quarantine. Same if you've got players that play for Argentina. So, there's no fans at the game in Brazil. They're not allowing no fans to come. Why not just play that game on a neutral ground, somewhere that's not on any of those lists?
You know why?
Right? It could quite easily have played that game in a country that's like, would have no problems with with no problems with your players coming back after that game. Why they insist in playing it in Brazil? It makes no difference. But it makes no difference because it's only going to be TV money because no fans in the game. Yeah,
but so even that, the TV money is that's you get me. We don't know how the TV
thing. You just go to that country. It's your game. It's your game, isn't it? So your game, right? So you're going to control.
But look at the Champions League final. There was 2 English clubs and they still made them go to Portugal.
Yeah, but exactly.
And then what happened? Beer Man brought the virus back from team.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but there was fans there. But in this case, there's no fans. Yeah. So just play it somewhere that's not gonna...
Now, this is what I'm saying.
Because those players, right, one of the reasons the English clubs didn't want to let them go is because when they come back now, they've got a quarantine. So they're saying, we've got games this weekend. Can't have man quarantining for 10 days. So why not just play these games at a neutral... You know what I mean? Why play it in Brazil? You're not losing nothing. You're not losing no TV money. You're not losing no money off the fans because there's no fans there. I don't know. It's crazy.
I was just like in shock, blood. What did you, man, think? I was just like, right, yo, is this real? Is this real?
Yeah, no, that was was crazy. I mean, I was watching that game too, and then just seeing people just walk on the. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. It's just seeing people walk on the field and just stomp an international game. It was crazy. But I think it's if the government's involved, and especially them lying on documents. I don't know how they handle things in Brazil, but in other countries, so like Zimbabwe, where I'm from, if you lie on a document, that's straight up jail time.
That's what I'm trying to say to Robbie. They lied on documents, blood. This ain't just money. This thing here could go deep.
Ronaldinho did it, innit?
And what happened to him? He went jail, blood. This ain't a joke, Robbie, blood. This ain't a joke. You're talking about money's gonna blood. Money ain't solving this.
When have we got Villa?
Boy.
Because maybe if the man get back,
we got them next.
When Martinez get banged up, man, maybe we've got a chance. I mean,
blood, Martinez will probably blame us, blood. He'll probably blame us. Oh yeah, I got deported, but do you remember the time when I got deported from Arsenal? He's always talking about us, blood. I guarantee he'll find a way to put us into this, blood. Even though he's my guy, like he needs to just stop talking about man, blood. You get me? But like, you understand? We could be screaming out free Emmy. Well, not we, blood. The Villa fans might be screaming free Emmy, free Emmy 2 times, blood. Because both your Emmys get me, blood. They could be going jail, cuss. Yeah, it's looking mad for you, man. Real talk, blood. You get me? Yeah. You see, Ronaldo was wrong. Ronaldo brought the record. You get me? Yeah. All-time international goal scorer, my goal. Messi, sit down, blood. Yeah, Messi, sit down. Yeah, you heard me, Robbie, blood. Messi, sit down. Yeah, the true GOAT. Rise to the occasion, blood.
Especially like how this man's going United now. Definitely Messi's the GOAT. You know brother. No. It was great what he did. Great what he did. But I still, me and you always used to argue about this when you was there. I still edge it Messi. And what they used to talk about and say, or you always used to go on about and say, yeah, but he ain't done nothing with his country. He's dealt with that one now. They won the Copa America. He was the player of the tournament as well. So that's that. So everything's certified now, right? I'm still saying Messi.
But he bottled it again. Like he could have gone City. He shook. Man ran to flipping PSG. He knew Ronaldo was going. United. He didn't want to be in the same city. He shook, blood.
He promised Barca another Champions League, and he bounced without giving it to them.
I don't know what. I know City. I think he's a City man now. They messed it up, man.
He's a fraud.
Man, the man that went to sign Grealish found out an hour later they could have signed Messi. Right? They missed out on Harry Kane and Ronaldo. Boy, they've had a bit of a shocker in the transfer window.
Now they got Fernan Torres leading the line, but they still banged us 5-0.
Still banged us 5-0 5-0.
And it was a header. Isn't he like 5'5" or something?
Oh, man. Trust me, man.
It was like Saka.
No disrespect to Zah. Even he'd out-jump Holding on them, man.
Right? Eye to eye with him. I'm eye to eye with him.
Yeah. Trust me. Well, if any more man out-jump them, man, there. Holding and Chambers. Look, Gundogan. But last year it was Sterling.
No, man, if Billy Gilmore out jumps any one of them this weekend, I am going.
Hey, watch Billy Gilmore get up. Watch Billy Gilmore get the fucking. Watch Billy Gilmore get the winner. Back post header, 83rd minute. Boops! Out jump, bang it up, Holding. Fucking Patch Adams. That's what I call Robbie. That's what I'm calling Holding from now on, blood. Patch Adams, blood. You see his headpiece, man.
It wasn't actually him who got out jumped. It was Chambers. And actually, when you look on it, it wasn't even out jumped. He just mistimed his header.
Yeah, he didn't even know Gundogan was behind him.
No, but he didn't even look. Regardless of that, he mistimed the jump. I mean, come on, man.
Someone that didn't mistime their jump was Bakayo Blood Clot Saka. You understand? Yeah. The birthday boy, England 4, Andorra 0. Saka's performance, blood. You understand? Yeah, One goal, 3 shots, 58 touches, 42 passes completed, blood.
Unbelievable.
And he only had 58 touches, blood. 42 passes completed, blood. 2 assists. Unbelievable, blood. 20 years old.
He's in the team.
Arteta's going to ruin him, blood.
He's in the team at the bottom of the league. It's unbelievable. He's an amazing player. And I said that when the Euros finished and he got all that abuse and that, I said it's going to be the making of him. And I'll tell you, he's the most loved player in this country right now. I think it's probably between him and Kante. As the, you know what I mean? Yeah. We were talking about it, players that you can't hate.
Yeah.
And it used to be like, Kante was one of them. I think now Saka's in that category as well. He's going to places and he's getting like, you know, the opposition fans, even the Tottenham fans gave him.
And they clapped him on when he
gave
came
him
on.
yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm really pleased for him, man. You know what I mean? Because he's such a humble kid. And, you know, he didn't deserve any of that, what he got. And he you know, he's cementing himself as a real England regular. And, again, this is where Arsenal needs to step up, or we won't keep guys like him. He'll be
going
gone.
into the Poland game. Would you keep him in the side?
I hope not,
rotate?
because we need him for the weekend, man. Rotate, man.
I want England to win because we got Poland. Poland next is sticky because we only beat them 2-1 in the last round, in the last time at Wembley. It's in Poland. And they never had Lewandowski, blood. And it was only 2-1.
Yeah.
Now they have Lewandowski. I saw a stat earlier on Sky Sports News,
He's an unbelievable player.
Bro, Andorra, have scored 53 goals in 181 games, Lewandowski has scored 72 in 124.
Yeah,
like, he scored more goals than a country, blood.
And he's not even playing for one of the top, you know, countries. If he was playing for one of the, Germany or something like that.
I just said to you, I was just going to say it. You just said the name. If he done what Klose done and picked Germany instead of picking Poland, do you think Germany could have done what Spain did, where they won, where they had that dominance for that 8-year period, where they
Possibly
were just
because
the dominant?
he's an unbelievable player. Lewandowski,
player.
Yeah, and he's underrated as well. He don't get the ratings he deserves. And I think he'd go any league and do that as well.
Where would you rank him amongst the strikers? I mean, you've got Kane, you've got Lewandowski, you've got Aguero, Suarez, Lukaku, Aubameyang.
You rate him right now number one. 100%. Look at his goal scoring. His goal scoring record over the last.
What would you put him? What better striker than CR7? Because that's where he plays now.
I think CR7's not really a striker though, and he's sort of a. You know, I'm just talking out and out strikers.
You rate him. So between like him,
one.
Lukaku, Haaland, all them, man.
Yeah, he's number one.
Definitely.
At this moment in time, he's number one. And you know, this man's he's been putting up mad numbers over the years.
Muller's record, isn't it?
Yeah. He's number one.
Go on.
I'd love to see him in the Premier League. I'd love to see him in the.
He said that he wants to leave, but Bayern said that they want like 100 and something million for him or something.
Yeah, it's a shame about the age of some of these players, man, because they're sort of, you know, they're mid-30s and things like that. It's a shame because, you know, but then again, he's another guy like Ronaldo and all these guys that look after themselves so well that, you know, he's got another 4 or 5 years in him. And I remember seeing a documentary on him where he was talking. He said that his hero was Henry. That's who he wanted to be. He wanted to be Henry when he was, you know, he idolized Henry.
Well, when you look at him, he is a techie striker. He's got a lot of technique to his game, bro. The way he pings it, you understand the way he brings the ball down. He's very Rolls Royce-esque, blood. He's not like Lukaku's kind of rough and rugged, blood. Like, you get me? He's pause, blood. You get me? He's like, you get me? Ivan Toney and him.
To think he was on the verge of signing for Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, back in 2009, and what stopped it was
the cloud.
Yeah.
Remember that volcano ash cloud thing?
I remember that.
Yeah, that's what stopped him.
Imagine because what? Them time there, who did they have? They had like Mortens, Gam Pedersen. I think Benny McCarthy was still there.
Oh yeah, Benny McCarthy. Yeah.
You get me?
South Africa's finest.
Yeah, there are a couple man down there, blood. Still, you get me? But lastly, Italy, blood. Italy have set a new record, the longest unbeaten international streak ever, blood. 36 games now, they have been unbeaten. The Euro 2020 winners, the fucking jammy bastards. You get me? Fucking
again, they've got a good manager. They haven't been doing too great in the qualifying since. They've got a bit of hangover since winning the Euros, but
couple draws.
I think they probably were the best team in the Euros.
Are they the favourites for the World Cup?
They're one of them, definitely. Yeah, I think they've got to be because they've got such a good team. They play like a club side. They may not have like, you know, loads and loads of standout individuals, but they've got good individuals like Chiesa and these guys, and they play like a club team, and they've got a good manager. And they're one of these teams that anytime, as soon as they hear that word tournament, their game just lifts again. They rise to the occasion. But I'll tell you what, right? I think England got a shout for the... Don't write them off.
You going to go?
What, to Qatar?
Yeah.
Yeah, you coming?
If you go, I'll go.
Yeah, but you remember out there, they've got some strict rules, you know. I don't want to see you get beheaded or something like that, you know what I mean?
Chop your hand off.
You know, he come back with his hand chopped off, all kind of things. You know what I mean? I've been abroad with this guy, man, and that's risky.
Come back with a no.
I don't know. I don't want to go with you, man. They got some strict laws out there.
Blood, nah, man. They got we survived Dubai in it, blood. You understand? So I'm sure we can survive.
Yeah, that's
Qatar,
true.
blood.
That's true. Now, you know, I heard it's a really nice country, Qatar, as well.
Yeah, because
I'd love to. And I mean, yeah, there's a controversy about the time of year it's going on. There's a controversy about how they built some of the stadiums, but the stadiums look amazing.
Mad.
I mean, mad. I'm definitely.
The infrastructure is crazy.
Yeah, I want to be there, man. I want to be there. Remember, you know, Russia.
Hot. Boy,
that's what I'm saying.
Hot.
Russia was lit. Like that was a great.
Russia was hot. Remember?
Russia. Volgograd, bomber class.
Yeah, remember how hot that was?
Dog, we were sweating buckets. Like Goonie. You see how we're sweating in New York?
Yeah.
Pause. That's how man was sweating in Russia, dog. Russia, you know.
Mind you, New York the other day. What was going on out there, man? There's a madness. I saw that
there
rain.
was a flood, yeah.
I
filmed a video right outside my apartment. There was like a river just going.
Bro, it was a mad thing. He sent me the video, yeah. There was like fucking, you know, like them when there's roadworks and they put out them like them little bollards and them thing there. They were floating in the thing. He's standing by his ledge and things are just going zoom, 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 zoom. There was a brother doing Deliveroo on a pushback in the fucking thing, blood.
Yeah, and the water was waist high.
And the water was waist high, and he's just pushing his back. And he had the food like in the air. He had the food like that in one hand, and he's pushing his back.
That's dedication for you.
One of the guys we work with was almost evacuated by boat. So it filled up. Stephen Che. It filled up. It destroyed his basement completely. So his basement's completely gone, and he was. I think he was like.
Oh, it was crazy, man. I was like, "Is that America?"
Bro.
And that was, imagine that wasn't even the full hurricane, was it? That was just the end part.
Yeah, that was the end of it because it hit Louisiana.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, crazy.
It's mad. But
climate change, man.
Hey, nah, blood.
I believe in it.
I dodged it, blood. I'm good, fam. I was over yesterday, blood. Trust me. You get me?
Can I just give a shout out to our ladies, by the way, that played. They played yesterday.
Facts.
3-2. Phenomenal game. Best Mead killed it.
Viv. Game. What can Beth and Viv play on Saturday, blood? You understand?
All right.
You get me?
I'll tell you what, their technical ability was brilliant, and it was. With the women's game over here in the UK now, they're going to be really showing a lot of it on TV and stuff like that. So
I like how it's on Sky now. Yeah,
that game was live on Sky, and then I think the Man City versus Everton game was live on BBC.
Yeah, I also heard that ITV got the rights for the England women's game, so they're going to be now showing every women's game on that.
Yeah, and it's good. Well.
Other stations are available. Shout out my nigga Ty. You already know.
I've been to quite a lot of women's games, man, and they are really good.
I haven't been to one, you know.
They're good, man.
I went to two. I went to 3 under-23 games with Hits and Rob. Me, Hits, and Rob went. But I've never been to a women's game, blood. I want to go. Good. Like, do you know what? I prefer to go and watch them than watch them fucking mugs, blood.
Well, you saw the game yesterday. It was a brilliant game.
Yeah, I watched the whole game. I really enjoyed it, blood.
Both teams, Chelsea and Arsenal, both of them got some great players.
Yeah, that Chinese girl that plays for Chelsea, we got one. Yeah, I know we got one, but she's was kind of.
I think she's South Korean actually, but she's brilliant.
Yeah, she's cold. She was
she was like reminding me like Mesut Ozil, the way passing range. Man.
Yeah. I was really impressed, blood. But like, you get me. No. We have to be real. We got a bit lucky with the winning goal. It was offside.
It was offside.
You get me, blood. But
And I, you know,
we need that luck, blood. The way the men's team are getting slapped up, blood. At least the ladies are getting luck, blood. You understand?
the ladies need to teach the men about pattern of play, and you know what I mean, it was so good.
The football they played was, I mean,
Brilliant.
even that Beth Me goal. I mean, I know it was technically
Brilliant
offside,
goal. Banger.
but the flowing move, like Viv,
Yeah.
like even Viv, the way she got it turned, pinged it. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, bro, like I hope the men are in the fucking crowd and actually taking fucking notes. Like even their manager, like I hope fucking like, you hear me? I might go get his tactic ball and give it to fucking Arteta, blood. Then he might have a fucking plan. You understand? Because Chelsea, you get me, they're the reigning women's Premier League champions.
Yeah, they won the league. They won the league last year, but only losing one game. They
Yeah,
lost one game.
They've won the last two. They won the last two leagues. We won it the year before that. They've won it the last 2 times. But to beat them in like opening day, it's a big statement from the ladies, blood. So you get me? Zara's right, blood. Big up the ladies.
Do they usually play at the Emirates?
Nah, usually they play at
Boreham Wood. But what they're doing is they're going to do certain games at the Emirates, certain big games. So the next one they're going to do is the North London Derby when they play Tottenham. That'll be at the Emirates as well. And I remember I went to a women's game when it was Tottenham versus Arsenal at Tottenham's new stadium, and there's over 50,000 people there. It was brilliant.
Oh, nice.
So let's hope it keeps growing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Facts, man.
Cool.
Well, big up Robbie for coming on, blood.
Yeah, I've got to take my son football now.
Yeah, I know, blood.
And you made me late for that as well.
Nah, come on, man. I'm family, man. You get me, blood. I get to, you understand? When you go there and they say, why you late? You say, yeah, I was doing something with Troopz. Oh, how is he, man? Come on, man. You know everyone loves me,
they'll probably tell me to don't bring my kid back.
Nah, man. You mad? You know the thing already, blood. Back again, you understand? But big up my bro, Robbie. Big up Robbie for coming on, blood. You understand? Man. Family. Goonie, big up your damn self. You already know. Zar, my brother. Big up man like Jets. Big up Heineken. You don't already know. And like I say at the end of every episode, blood, stay safe. Wash them fucking hands, blood.